And right now at 4 o'clock, we are on verdict watch in the Scot Peterson trial. The former deputy accused of failing to take action during the Parkland massacre. Peterson's fate is now in the hands of a jury.
If convicted on all 11 charges, he could be sentenced to more than 96 years in prison. Let's get right to Local 10's Christina Vasquez, live from the latest from the courthouse today. Christina.
And within the past hour, the jury with yet another question for this court. They wanted to learn how to access a password-protected hard drive. Now, this was evidence moved into the exhibits by the prosecution, by the state, and prosecutors confirming with me what that hard drive entails is 6 hours of surveillance video from the school on that 2018 Valentine's Day. This includes from every camera, every angle around the exterior of the campus, and of course those hallways inside the 1200 building, which to this day is preserved as a crime scene. So the judge providing them access to that password so they can enter into that hard drive and view all of that state evidence. Meantime, here's a look at what they asked earlier today.
Two questions on the juror request.
What the Scot Peterson trial jury wanted to know about 3 hours into deliberations is if they can see this, the poster-sized visual aids used by both the state and defense during trial. But turns out neither side moved these into evidence for the jury to consider. The judge saying that he would explain to the jury they do have access to the evidence the visual aids referenced.
The jurors seem to be wondering where exactly Scot Peterson was standing during the act of shooting. To me, that means that the jurors have moved past the caregiver issue and are now focusing on the culpable negligence, reasonable efforts issue.
And legal analyst David Weinstein explains what makes this case a first of its kind, the state's approach to defining a school resource officer as a caregiver. That is what underpins the 7 felony counts of child neglect. If convicted of those, the ex-Parkland deputy faces a maximum of 95 years in state prison.
His only assignment every day was the welfare of those kids. None of the other officers who arrived on scene had any caregiver obligation as it relates to this statute.
He's not a caregiver. He's a police officer, and he's assigned to the school pursuant to that contract, but he is not there to make sure that their bellies are full and that they are hydrated properly. That idea is ludicrous.
This is a decision that the jury, as the finder of the facts, have to make. It is without doubt a novel approach. Is he first a caregiver? And then if he is a caregiver, does he have a duty to go into a situation that's unfolding and that's rapidly occurring in order to diffuse what's going on? Or is that too much to ask of a caregiver? And that's what this jury is going to have to decide.
And as I am joining you live, we are literally in the last hour of the day for the jury deliberations. The judge reminding the court that he is putting a stop at 5 and then they would resume if no verdict is reached by tomorrow morning. At this hour, it appears by our count, we're about 6.5 hours into their deliberations. That includes yesterday into where we are today. Reporting live for you, I'm Christina Vasquez, Local 10 News.
Okay, Christina, thanks a lot.
Well, we are learning new details after a deputy took his own life in Pompano Beach.